I want to, first of all, thank our youth groups who put this event together. They do it every year. They do a great job. We have the Chapel Hill-Carrboro NAACP Youth Council. A round of applause. This looks great here. If you haven't stopped by their table out front, go and check it out. They've got some information over there. And this is also put on by the Carrboro Youth Council. So we have these two youth groups work hard together to make this event happen, and we are really happy to have you here. If you haven't checked out the artwork from Carrboro High School students, our class of Rita Schiavone, please take a look. It's really neat sgraffito artwork. And we also have our I Have a Dream scroll that we lay out every year for youth, families, anyone. Come up, sign it, and put your dream down. And we're going to save it every year, keep doing it. So please help yourself to drinks over there, refreshments. We are about to start our Kahoot game, which we've been doing every year. It's an interesting name, isn't it? But we will have prizes. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Kahoot, it is a trivia game. And just because you got the right answer doesn't mean you're going to win. The first person who gets it right gets more points than everyone else subsequently. So that's how this works. The fastest to get the answer, you get more points, right? So we're going to start this game. Reem of the Carrboro Youth Council is going to help me. She'll read the questions off. We'll also have them up here so you can see them. So once we have the little QR code up there, or you can just go to the website and put in the code, you'll be answering the questions on your smartphone, all right? So it'll be little cubes, and pick the answer based on the cube on your phone. So thanks again for being here. I'm going to get this game started, and let's have some fun and celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So you can go to kahoot.it and type in this game pin to play. Yep. Going to go to a title page right after this. All right, everyone ready? Here we go.
What North Carolina-raised fashion journalist influenced 6 decades of Vogue fashion? What North Carolina HBCU were the Greensboro St participant students at? Winston-Salem State University, NC Central University, NCA&T State University, or Fayetteville State University? What graduate of NCA&T became the nation's second Black astronaut? Ewing Bluford, Ronald McNair, Charles Bolden, or Winston E. Scott? Who was the first African American to host their own daily show in the Piedmont area? Melba Tolliver, Tamron Hall, Joanne Reed, or Sandra Hughes? Who was the saxophone icon that helped make modern jazz popular worldwide? Thelonious Monk, John Coltrane, Sonny Rollins, or Louis Armstrong? The author of the novel, If Beale Street Could Talk, that was recently adapted into an Academy Award-winning film. James Baldwin, George Kane, Paul Beatty, or Zora Neale Hurston? What Black tennis player has competed in 3 Olympics and won 4 gold medals? Coco Gauff, Slane Stevens, Alicia Parks, or Serena Williams? Who was the singer credited with being the godmother of rock music? Sister Rosetta Tharpe, Whitney Houston, Ella Fitzgerald, or Etta James? When is Lippa Cotton Day in Carrboro? January 13th, January 6th, January 4th, or January 5th? In third place, we have KK. In second place, we have Jason. And in first place, we have VWA. Congratulations.
All right, so KK, who's our third place winner? Oh. All right, Jason. All right, and it is the town of Carrboro's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. celebration. So, first place, it's a testament of hope. All right. VWA. All right. So, thanks for playing. We are going to watch a short video compiled by some youth council members on what is your dream, okay? So, as you know, we have the scroll out here that we ask you to write on. This is a little video they put together.
I'm Reem, Vice President of the Carrboro Youth Council, and I have the honor of welcoming our Mayor, Barbara Foushee. Barbara Foushee is the Mayor of Carrboro. It is a historic moment as she is the first female Black mayor for the town and only the second Black mayor to serve that position. As mayor, she presides over meetings of the town council and represents the town at ceremonies and events. During her time on the council, she has championed housing access and affordability, inclusive community engagement, and community building on issues that affect us all. She has been in service to the Carrboro community since the 2017 municipal election and was re-elected to a second term in November 2021. Barbara is the recipient of the 2017 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Community Service Award, given annually by the Chapel Hill-Carrboro NAACP. She has also been honored by her sorority, receiving both the Finer Womanhood Award and the Woman of the Year Award. She was also recognized by Chapel Hill Magazine in 2021 as the Woman of Achievement. She is married to Mr. Braxton Foushee, who was the first Black alderman for the town of Carrboro. Please welcome Mayor Barbara Foushee.
Your worth has been granted to you by a higher power. Your presence on this earth means that you are worthy. Remember that. There is never a time where you should be proving this to anyone. Elena Simpkins, PhD. Good afternoon. It is wonderful to be with you for another Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. youth-led event. Thank you for that warm introduction. Reem, I'm looking for you. Where are you? There she is. Thank you. I want to also thank the Carrboro Youth Council, the Chapel Hill-Carrboro NAACP Youth Council, Carrboro Parks and Recreation Department, and other organizers and advisors for collaborating on this annual event as a way to bring community together and to celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. King. So one housekeeping item, because I have seen a few elected officials in the House, and we always like to recognize them. And so if I could get them to stand and just say who they are and what board they serve on. All elected officials. Let's start with Congresswoman Foushee, please. She would. Yes. I appreciate the invitation to stand before you this afternoon. It is always an honor to be asked to speak pretty much anywhere. The theme for my few minutes at the microphone is know your value, know your worth. Self-worth can be described as recognizing that even when the world says no, it is what you say about yourself that really matters. Your value can never be depreciated, and it is about more than any one position. 6 months before he was assassinated, Dr. King spoke to a group of students at Barat Junior High School in Philadelphia on October 26, 1967, and said the following, and I quote, "Number one in your life's blueprint should be a deep belief in your own dignity, your own worth, and your own somebodyness." I like that word, somebodyness. Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you're a nobody. Always feel that you count, always feel that you have worth, and always feel that your life has ultimate significance. Here are some questions to ponder, and I am going to ask for some audience participation. Don't we love audience participation? Oh, it don't sound like it. Come on, y'all. So I have a couple of questions here, and I really would appreciate audience participation, particularly from our young people, and just, kind of hear what they're thinking about the questions I'm about to bring forth. The first question is, tell me what is your greatest asset? It cannot be anything you buy in a store, okay? So tell me what you feel your greatest asset is. Anyone is welcome to come up to the microphone. Succinctness is appreciated. One sentence is fine, but I just would like to hear from our young people. Can I get a volunteer to join me at the microphone? I'm gonna pull somebody from the audience now, because somebody gonna come up here. Oh, come on, you and the.
Okay. Personally, I feel like my greatest asset is my ability to persevere. Personally, I do a lot of things, and I never let that get, like, my tiredness get me down. I just keep going.
Perfect. Thank you, I love that. The second question, how are you planning to achieve your goals after high school? Now, some will go to work, some may go to the military, some may go to a 2 or 4-year college. It does not matter, but I am asking, how are you preparing yourself now for what you want to do post high school? Nevaeh? She knew I was gonna call her. My girl, thank you.
I would say I'm preparing myself by just getting my mindset straight. Like Liz mentioned earlier, just letting myself know that I can persevere through anything and just trying my best even when I fail, and just keep going, even if it's hard.
Thank you, Nevaeh. George Washington Carver, a noted Black scientist and inventor, said, and I quote, "Education is the key to unlock the golden door of freedom. If you have education, you have power. It's not likely you'll get fooled, bamboozled, or hoodwinked, because you will have the ability to think through pretty much any situation. Knowledge is truly power." The last question, what do you do or practice to encourage yourself and elevate your self-worth? This can be a student or an adult, because sometimes as adults, we may not realize our own self-worth, and sometimes it can get defined by other people, and we don't want that. So I will, okay, I see a hand in the corner, come on up here. I love this audience participation. I mean, I got to talk just a little bit less. Okay, come on. Thank you for coming up.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm already in college. I go into Philly, and I just encourage myself, and I let myself know that it's okay to make mistakes. We're all human, and in college it gets hard to push yourself and want to do things for your career. I mean, if I'm being real, it gets a little discouraging at times. So just letting yourself know that it's okay to make mistakes and work towards what you want.
That's right. Oprah Winfrey, entrepreneur, said, "Dream the biggest dream for yourself. Hold the highest vision of life for yourself." Oprah Winfrey. Have you ever felt unseen, unwelcome, or invisible in a group of people? Anybody? Have you ever felt that way? Folks recognize your presence on some level, but they may still interrupt or talk over you, maybe. They want you to feel as if you don't belong. Please realize that your words and actions matter as much as anyone else's. Be brave and know your worth. Continue to take up space wherever you are. History is a blueprint and the ultimate teacher. Some of our ancestors did not have jobs that others desired, but that doesn't mean that their jobs didn't hold value. People tend to get really excited about titles and positions. I prefer to move humbly, even as a mayor, because the person that I am today was defined before I became the mayor. Authenticity is key, no matter what space you occupy. I want to encourage you to align with those who share your passions, your dreams, and your goals, those who will support, embrace, and help you achieve. Try to stay away from the naysayers. Surround yourself with good vibes and good people. Don't give people the power to determine your value or worth. Only you can do that. Dr. Mae C. Jemison, she was a Black female astronaut, said, "Never be limited by other people's limited imagination." In closing, I encourage you to look in the mirror every morning and say 3 words: I am enough. Live in it and move in it and be it. Real affirmation and joy comes from within and comes from above. Thank you for this amazing opportunity to speak before you this afternoon. I'm done. It is an honor and a pleasure to introduce Congresswoman Valerie P. Foushee, who represents North Carolina's 4th District, which includes Alamance, Durham, Granville, Orange, and Person counties and parts of Caswell County. Yes. Before she began serving in Congress, Valerie worked as an administrator for the Chapel Hill Police Department and served 25 years as a local and state elected official. She went from serving on the Chapel Hill Carrboro City Schools Board to becoming the first African-American woman elected to chair the Orange County Board of Commissioners, to serving in the North Carolina State House and the North Carolina State Senate. In Congress, Valerie serves on the House Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure and is the vice-ranking member of the Railroads, Pipelines, and Hazardous Materials Subcommittee and a member of the Highways and Transit Subcommittee. She also serves on the House Committee on Science, Space, and Technology and is the ranking member of the Investigations and Oversight Subcommittee and a member of the Energy Subcommittee. Valerie was born and raised in Orange County and received her undergraduate degree from UNC Chapel Hill. She is married to her high school sweetheart, Stanley, and they are parents of 2 sons and 1 grandson. I give you the esteemed Congresswoman Valerie Foushee.
Good afternoon. It is certainly an honor to be with you and before you today. Thank you for that introduction, and you all will be happy to know that there is no pop quiz. There won't be any questions. There'll only be answers today. I also want to take a moment to give honor and to thank the Youth Council of the Chapel Hill Carrboro NAACP and the Carrboro Youth Council for the role that they played in planning this event that they've done before. But I think it's always important that we recognize that the contributions that young people have had in our fight for justice and equality cannot be overlooked or ignored. And your energy and your passion in organizing today's event is truly inspiring. It is events like this one that brings our community together for fellowship and service, and that encompasses the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his vision for the beloved community. We know that Dr. King was a civil rights champion, an exponent for equity, and a proponent for peace. His enduring legacy and courageous actions spurred a movement to dismantle racial segregation and to build a more equal America for all of us. He envisioned a community where racism, injustice, discrimination, bigotry, and prejudice do not exist. A community where a shared destiny outweighs our own individual destinies. And in this beloved community is where real systemic change occurs, where economic and social justice are at the forefront, and where every person answers the mutual calling to serve each other because love prevails over everything else. I know particularly now that it feels that we are far off from achieving Dr. King's vision of that beloved community, especially when we see racial injustices plague our nation or see racist and xenophobic commentary online all day, every day. But each year during this weekend in January, I am encouraged when I see people across the country joining together to serve their community with the unified goal of social justice and equity, honoring and preserving the memory of Dr. King and passing along our true history to the future generations. And I am equally as encouraged to see so many young people who are devoted to making a meaningful change here in Carrboro and beyond. So as we celebrate the life of Dr. King, let us remember that his activism and service broke barriers and helped unite people of different backgrounds and strengthen communities nationwide. It is our moral obligation to build a better and healthier society for future generations. Today, service and activism can take many forms, and there will always be a way for you to serve and make your community a better place, bringing us one step closer, indeed, to that beloved community. Thank you for the opportunity.
Good afternoon, fellow celebrators of the King holiday. My name is Vianna Thornville, and I have been given the pleasure of introducing our Chapel Hill-Carrboro State School Superintendent, Dr. Nyah Hamlett. Dr. Hamlett has been serving our district for 3 years, and she has loved every minute of it. Through those 3 years, she has raised student voices by implementing policies that reflect what we need. And as a mother of students who are also in this district, she knows just how important it is for youth to have a spot at the table. I can speak on this firsthand as a student who is a part of one of the groups that Dr. Hamlett has put in place. It is called the Equity and Empathy Ambassadors. Through this program, I personally feel heard. It is clear that Dr. Hamlett wants every student to have a say in how things are run, and she has been doing an amazing job at it. Dr. Hamlett is a champion of high-quality, equitable, and affirming learning experiences, relational leadership, culturally relevant and responsive pedagogy, school-based mental health, disrupting the school-to-prison pipeline, gifted identification of underrepresented student populations, and more. Before she comes up, I would like to leave you with a quote from Dr. King himself that I feel aligns with her values. We must use time creatively in the knowledge that time is always right to do right. Thank you.
Wow, good afternoon, everybody. So when I walked in here, I said to Lori, I said, they got me speaking after the mayor and Congresswoman Foushee. What is happening? And then I leaned over to Congresswoman Foushee and I said, what haven't you done? And she said, your job. Well, I just want to thank the town of Carrboro and our youth for inviting me to share my vision and my dream for our school district with you today. I want to start by recognizing our youth, many of which who I was with this morning over at Carrboro High School. But I want to recognize you all for your leadership and the manner in which you show up in these spaces with intentionality to use your voice to elicit change in our community. My vision is grounded in 3 areas: amplifying student voice and agency, as Vianna just shared, providing innovative, high-quality, deeper learning experiences for all of our students, and fostering a culture of care for students and employees who can show up each day as their authentic selves. We're currently at a crossroads of opportunity and challenge, and we have to move forward methodically, yet with a sense of urgency to realize not just my dream, but our collective dream of seeing significantly improved outcomes for all students in our district, particularly our Black, Latinx, multilingual learners, students with disabilities, and our students who are eligible for free and reduced meals. One of the questions that was asked of me in preparation for this event is, what is my dream for our school district, and where would I like to see us in the near future? And I'd like to read you something that I shared with school and district leaders at the beginning of this school year. So we did an activity at our beginning of the year Leadership Institute, where I shared a newspaper headline template with our leaders and encouraged them to write their own headline and brief article on the CHCCS that they would like to see. So of course I had to model for them my dream and headline for our district. I included this big picture of our Deputy Superintendent of Teaching, Learning, Equity, and Engagement, Dr. Rodney Trice, who is a Black male. And it was a picture of him high-fiving a student at Carrboro Elementary School who is also a Black male. And that student was just joyous and had this big smile on his face, and it was a wonderful picture. But I did that because I know that imagery has power, sometimes more so than our words. But the headline read, CHCCS eradicates racial predictability and boosts student outcomes. My article went on to say, Chapel Hill-Carrboro City Schools and district leaders rejoice as they celebrate with students and employees their accomplishments through the district's strategic plan. CHCCS not only eliminated the achievement gap that so many speak about, they also boosted student outcomes for students of color, students with disabilities, multilingual learners, and students who are eligible for free and reduced meals. Student outcomes in CHCCS extend beyond academic data. They also focus on measures of engagement, behavior, and attendance. The district no longer focuses on state testing results by pitting student groups against each other. Through their focused and intentional efforts on culturally relevant and responsive teaching, they emphasize growth to proficiency, one classroom, one school, and one student at a time. Student engagement is increased, which in turn resulted in a complete elimination of chronic absenteeism. Students report a sense of belonging and preparedness for life after high school that the district attributes to the use of restorative practices to build community and their CHCCS profile of a graduate. Evidently, being an ethical and empathetic citizen, a skilled communicator, a critical thinker, an effective collaborator, and an adaptable individual are prioritized in the Chapel Hill-Carrboro community over the academic pressure cooker that once was. So that was my article. And you know, that's my dream, that's my vision. But my goal is really to empower those closest to the gap, to take risks, to be bold, and to create high-quality affirming learning environments for every student in our school district. As an example, this morning I had the opportunity to welcome about 150 teachers and other school-based educators for our very first ever Equity Symposium. Throughout the day, they had the opportunity to hear from some dynamic speakers, some amazing teachers and students from our own schools and classrooms. They also got to hear from our very own two-time State Teachers of the Year, so Eugenia Floyd and Kim Jones. And they, when I left just a few minutes ago, were hearing from the ultimate purveyor of abolitionist teaching, Dr. Bettina Love. So I will share with you some of what I shared with them this morning. As we gather here today, know that we stand at a crossroads of opportunity and challenge. Let's first commit to use our challenges as opportunities rather than excuses. Then let's recognize each opportunity to lead with joy and prioritize our wellness despite the obstacles that are thrown our way. As our community knows all too well, Equity work is not for the faint of heart. It requires us to challenge long-standing norms, question our biases, and constantly push the boundaries of not only our own comfort zones, but also the systemic norms that have persisted for so long right here in our district and in our community. So as we reflect and honor the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., let us commit to being bold, to learning from one another, and to translating our discussions here into tangible actions in our diverse and ever-evolving classrooms and community. Let us unapologetically embrace authentic and connected leadership by not just believing in the principles of equity, but actively advocating for them, even when faced with adversity. The symposium was designed to remind us that equity is not merely a concept to be discussed, but a practice to be embodied in every aspect of our teaching. Bringing equity into practice is about creating a high-quality learning environment where every voice is heard and valued, and every child feels seen, affirmed, and supported. In our community, we cannot afford to allow equity to be a buzzword, a program, a checklist, or an initiative, something you start, but you're probably gonna end at some point in time. In order for us to drive and expand our vision, it must be embedded in every action taken, from our neighborhoods to our classrooms, to the mayor's office, and to the boardroom. Let this time together be a testament to the power of collective wisdom and shared learning. As community members, we are each other's most valuable resource. Let's not take for granted this unique opportunity to learn from one another's experiences, strategies, and insights. My dream that we activate our collective efficacy as we strive to become a school district where school-based educators are empowered with the latest instructional strategies that foster genuine student engagement, and where our curriculum reflects the rich diversity of our community. My vision and dream for our students also includes what I unapologetically coined my favorite part of the job. Excuse me. As Vianna shared, I've been the superintendent of CHCCS for 3 years now, and shortly after I arrived, I did 2 strategic and smart things. I would like to think I did more, but I know I did 2. Number 1, I rehired Chapel Hill native and community advocate Lori Clark. And I did that because I heard so much about her work with student leadership, the NAACP Youth Council, and our Blue Ribbon Mentor Advocate Program. The other smart and strategic thing that I did was leverage Lori's experiences, expertise, and community connections to develop the Superintendent's Equity and Empathy Ambassadors Program. By far the best part of my job is meeting with this group of about 50 fierce and fearless high school students who meet with me and other district leaders on a quarterly basis to learn about district programs, share their observations and experiences in our schools, and provide advice to me from their perspective. Students also have the opportunity to identify equity issues in their schools and discuss viable solutions with me, my leadership team, and their school administration. Our Equity and Empathy Ambassadors Program embodies Dr. King's quote, "The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that's the goal of true education." So today I want to convey to each of you the importance of dreaming, being aware, and putting our social justice into action. After all, what's a dream without action? A dream without action remains just that, a dream, an idea that never takes flight. It's like having a blueprint for a magnificent building, but never laying the foundation. Dreams, to truly come alive, need our energy, our commitment, and our perseverance. And there are times where I, too, want to give up, but we have to persevere. They require us to wake up every day and put in the work, to face challenges head-on, and to adapt and grow. A dream without action is like a star we see in the night, beautiful to look at, but out of reach. It's our actions that give wings to our dreams, turning aspirations into reality and paving the way for progress and change. To manifest our dreams for the children of CHCCS, we must name and confront our challenges head-on. As superintendent, I can tell you that one of our challenges is consistently embodying one of our core values, social justice action. So beginning today, I challenge you to do as our students say, stand on business. Simply put, to stand on business means to take care of business or put your money where your mouth is. You get done what needs to get done, you follow through, or you do as my grandmother used to say, don't talk about it, be about it. So Dr. King's dream of equality and justice can continue to thrive in our schools. I call upon our community to engage actively in our schools, volunteer, participate in community conversations on equity, and support our efforts to close the attitude and opportunity gaps. I didn't say achievement gap. Your involvement is crucial in shaping an environment where every child can achieve their full potential. So as a community, I challenge us to stand on business by remembering the importance of being vigilant in the fight for justice and equity in our schools and in our community. In practice, achieving social justice action requires ongoing commitment, resources, and policy changes at every level of our organization and in our government. It's about creating an environment where being constantly aware, active, and unflinching in the struggle against injustice and inequality is what we do on a regular basis. So, if you share the sentiments of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech, then I will leave you with a quote from Paul Valéry, a French writer and poet, who once said, "The best way to make your dreams come true is to wake up." Just as Paul urged us to wake up, to make our dreams a reality, I ask each of you to awaken to the role you play in shaping the future of our school district. Together, we can transform CHCCS into a model of innovative and equitable education, fulfilling not just our strategic plan, but also the dreams we hold for every single child in our care. Let's wake up and continue to put equity and social justice into action. Thank you.
My name is Zan Coleman, otherwise known as the Phantom, and I have 3 words for y'all to remember. Intelligence, relevance, and revelation. A spirit thrown from heaven, the wielder with intention has attention, for the spirit rips through the thick atmosphere and dips into the depths of Tartarus, the bottomless void of despair. Yet illumination dwindles darkness. Hark! It hits the ground somehow, for word is born. It's grounded. Mind for intelligence. Mind for intelligence. Mind for intelligence erupts from the spirit, smears the airways sound, articulation for the ear. So it was the ears to listen, the eyes to see, the mouth to speak, the catalyst of change, Martin Luther King. Indeed, a king with his attire, and never tire, for the pious hold desires, for the king, that's your highness, the one above, hold means so supreme, and said to Martin Luther King, time to connect these people, relevance indeed. Hand in hand, King said to man, it is the man, for the man above your head said, not everyone has seen that mountaintop. King is here in my stead. eyes lit up, and so did hearts in revelation. My poem was short, but that was purposeful, because there's much more work to be done. We might have made it to the point of revelation, but what you do with King's information is for you to decide. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Alexander Farmer, Vice President of Chapel Hill Youth Council, NAACP. Today, I will be sharing my vision and a dream that can become a reality with the help from all of you sitting here today. My vision is equality of all races and equal opportunities. It is a vision that promotes fairness, justice, inclusivity in our society. Imagine a world where everyone, regardless of their race or ethnicity, is treated with respect, dignity, and given the same opportunities to thrive and succeed. In this vision, diversity is celebrated and cherished as a strength rather than a source of division. People of all races are given equal access to quality education, healthcare, employment opportunities. No one is held back or discriminated against because of the color of their skin or their cultural background. Instead, individuals are judged based on their abilities and characters and merit. In the society, systematic barriers have been historically disadvantaged. Certain racial groups are dismantled. Affirmative action policies are in place to ensure that historical marginalized communities have access to resources and opportunities needed to overcome the effects of past discrimination. This helps level the playing field and promotes true equality. Equality of all races also means eradicating racial stereotypes, biases, and prejudices. It is about recognizing and challenging our own biases and actively working towards creating a more inclusive and understanding society. It means fostering empathy, cultural understanding, and promoting dialogue between different racial groups. Moreover, my vision extends beyond just equal opportunities in employment and education. It also encompasses equal treatment in the criminal justice system, access to affordable housing, and the elimination of racial disparities in the healthcare. It is about creating a society where everyone has an equal chance to live a fulfilling life, regardless of their racial background. To achieve my vision, it requires collective effort from individuals, communities, and establishments. It involves implementing policies that promote diversity and inclusion, as well as addressing the root causes of systematic racism. It requires ongoing education, awareness, and open conversations about race and privilege. Ultimately, my vision of equality is of all races and equal opportunities is not just a lofty ideal, but a necessary step towards building a more just and inclusive society, creating the way for future and past generations to come together for the betterment for all. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you enjoyed our amazing speakers. Can we give them another round of applause? My name is Nevaeh Hodge, and I'm the president of the Chapel Hill-Carrboro NAACP Youth Council, treasurer for the North Carolina NAACP Youth and College Division, and a member of the Carrboro Youth Council. The Carrboro Youth Council and the NAACP co-hosted this event today. Martin Luther King Jr. Day has always been one of my favorite holidays. On this day, I am reminded of how far that we have come and the progress that we have made. Dr. King had a dream of all people of all races and colors and backgrounds sharing in America marked by freedom and democracy. While Dr. King had a long journey, one of the most overlooked aspects of King's journey is his commitment to young people. Dr. King recognized the role that young people could play in transforming society and partnered with them throughout the civil rights movement. From the early periods of his life to the last days in Memphis, King demonstrated a relationship with young people we would do well to imitate. Young people have always been the center of a movement, so I think it's important to not only remember Dr. King's legacy, but also how he achieved his goals. Youth-centered events like the one we are at today are a testament to King's faith in the younger generation. In fact, I am standing before you today because of several adults who believed in me. I challenge you on this occasion to follow your dreams and inspire others to do the same, because you never know what your help can allow someone else to achieve. I want to thank Dr. Hamlett, Representative Valerie Foushee, Mayor Barbara Foushee, Coleman, and my Vice President, Alexandra Farmer, for the inspiring words, and to all of our Youth Council advisors and members. And lastly, I want to thank all of you for coming and taking the time out your day to attend this event, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
I had to come up here one more time and say thank you to all our youth groups again. This event would not have happened without them. Give them a round of applause one more time. They did an amazing job. The artwork, the speakers, they put it all together. So lots of credit to all of you. Thank you. And thank you for coming to the town of Carrboro's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. celebration. Thanks, y'all.